Do you know you have absolute control over only one thing in life? And what is that one thing? Your thoughts, your mind. The one thing that directs the course of your life, or what becomes of your life, or what you become in life, are your thoughts. As a man thinks, so he becomes. As you are thinking, so you are becoming. And since the one thing that shapes your life, that is your thoughts, then we can say that God put in your control the one thing that has the greatest potential and power to change your life. Today, I'm going to be speaking about thoughts, the mind, your mindset. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. The way you think affects your feelings, and the way you feel affects your actions. Your mind is like a magnet. Whatever gets in your mind and stays there is what you're going to attract and is what you're going to become. We act based on our beliefs. Beliefs are taught by continuous repetition. Whatever you believe with strong feeling becomes your reality. Whatever you believe strongly, your mind brings about. The worst of all beliefs are self-limiting beliefs. When people believe that their basic qualities can be developed, failure may still hurt, but failure doesn't define them. And if abilities can be expanded, if change and growth are possible, then there are still many paths to success. Your basic qualities are things you can cultivate through your efforts, your strategies, and help from others. Everyone can change and grow through application, learning, and experience, years of passion, toiling, and training. To buttress these points, I'm going to be sharing a couple of stories about how the mind and thoughts of a person can change their lives. So the story is told about this kid in the 11th grade. He had been failing his classes. He had struggled through 9th grade, 10th grade, and barely getting into the next grade. So one day his parents sat him down because it seemed like he was going to have to repeat 11th grade. He was getting terrible grades. He was not showing up in school regularly. He was hanging out with the wrong crowd, all that stuff. So his mom forces him to go and take the SAT, the standardized test, because she really wanted him to get a good education and turn his life around. He protested, saying it doesn't make any sense doing SATs because he felt he was stupid, he was dumb, he had never got good grades in his life, he had always failed, and he was just scraping through school. But his mom insisted that he take the SATs. Thank God for mothers. So he goes and takes the SATs. By the way, the SAT is a test you take in America to get into college. When he takes the SAT, this stupid kid who had been failing throughout school comes out with 1,480 out of 1,600, the equivalent of 92%, which put him in the top 5% in the country. He gets such a good grade, which showed how smart he was. His mom actually thought he had cheated, but he hadn't cheated. He knew he didn't cheat. And so it occurred to him, oh my goodness, I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I'm actually way smarter than I thought. What have I been doing, messing about and goofing off school? If I did so well in the SAT, maybe if I actually started to study, I might really begin to do better in school. So he started getting up early to study. He started showing up for his lessons. He stopped hanging out with the wrong crowd, began moving with the more studious, serious kids, and basically turned his entire life around. Then he started getting good grades, then excellent grades. He got into an Ivy League school and eventually became a really successful entrepreneur. Now here is the crazy thing. Every 12 years, the SATs are reviewed. The reviewers go through the results carefully. And this guy gets a letter in the post that said he actually didn't get 1,480 out of 1,600. What he actually got was 740 out of 1,600, the equivalent of 46%. What happened was that the machine actually doubled his score, which is not a good score. But the machine error made him think that he got 1,480. So a couple of numbers on a piece of paper had made this kid change the entire conception of who he thought he was. These numbers made him show up differently. He started believing that he was smart. He started working harder and waking earlier. He changed his associations and friendship group. He started studying for his exams, started going to school, paying attention, taking notes, doing homework. His perception of himself changed dramatically based on seeing a few numbers on a piece of paper. And because his perception of himself changed, he changed. Can you imagine how powerful that is? For someone to change their life just based on something so small. Just based on 4 numbers. Now think about your life. Think about how it can change. Think about what you have based your life on up until now. Is it based on what people have said about you? Is it based on your grades in school? Is it based on your job or lack of a job? What you have accomplished or what you haven't? Have you based your life on how people have treated you, with respect or with contempt? How you have been hurt in relationships? Who do you really want to be? Because if that kid could change his life just based on 4 numbers on a piece of paper, you can change your life with the right mindset, with the right thinking. You can be who you want to be. You can be that highest version, that superior version of yourself. Not externally or in a frivolous way, like I want to live in a mansion, I want to drive a Ferrari, but I mean you can be who you want to be in the core of your being, internally, and this will eventually shape your external realities. You can get out of bed today and decide who you want to be. You can make that decision today. When you change your internal GPS or your mindset, take time to meditate and write who you truly want to be, not what you want to have or what you want to do, but who you want to be. Then focus on it first. Focus on being, not doing. When you have written it down, who you truly want to be, then start focusing on it and let it set your mental GPS. Remember that kid and think of how his life might have turned out if he never got that piece of paper. Okay, time for another story. On the 6th of June, 1954, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile barrier. It had previously been thought that if anyone ran a mile in less than 4 minutes, their hearts would explode. But on the 6th of June 1954, Roger Bannister broke this barrier. And within weeks, 46 days to be precise, somebody else broke that record. But before this time, nobody had been able to run that mile in less than 4 minutes. The moment somebody broke it, other people began to see that it was possible. So the barrier wasn't the time, it was in the mind. And that is the power of the mind. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you are right. Now for the final story. Oliver Hill, born on October 26, 1883, in Pound, Virginia, USA, was an American journalist, salesman, and best-selling author. He tells the story of how he purchased a fine dictionary, sought out the word impossible, and promptly clipped it out of his new dictionary. He suggested that it would not be an unwise thing for his readers to do the same. Oliver Napoleon Hill is known best for his book Think and Grow Rich, which is among the 10 best-selling self-help books of all time. Napoleon Hill says, "More gold has been mined from the brains of men than has ever been mined from the earth." What your mind feeds upon will determine the course of your life. Feed on great thoughts and your life will go in that direction. Dwell on defeating thoughts and your life will go in that direction. As you think, so you become. True change always begins in the mind. The way you think inevitably reflects the way you live. So to become the best version of yourself, think great thoughts. Solomon, the wisest king, writes, "Guard your heart, for it determines the course of your life." We cannot perform outwardly in a way that is inconsistent with how we think inwardly. You cannot be what you believe you aren't, but you can change your thinking and consequently your life. Your brain is like a supercomputer, and your self-talk is the program that determines how it will run. You might not be able to stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can sure stop it from making a nest in your hair. Contrary thoughts and doubts aren't really yours until you allow them to move in and rearrange the furniture. Don't give wrong thoughts an inch, or they will take a mile. Evict them like the unlawful squatters they are before they weaken your commitment to all that is good, godly, and virtuous. Every day, stand guard at the door of your mind. Life drifts in the direction of thoughts. Therefore, be careful where your mind wanders, because your words and your actions will follow it. When your thoughts are going in the wrong direction, talk to your thoughts as if you were addressing an undisciplined child or an army. You are the general. You and not your thoughts are in command. So take that thought captive. You are in charge. You should be giving the orders, telling your thoughts what to do. You have to be vigilant. If you detect any undesirable thought, pounce on it and send it packing. Because who you become is a direct result of what your mind dwells on. Life consists of what a man or woman is thinking about all day. You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. And that is all for today. Until next time, keep on growing in wisdom and maturity. And don't forget to subscribe. Speak to you again soon.